Okay. Hi. Welcome to Service Binding Operator weekly call. Today, October 21st, and we have few agenda items. Let's go through one by one. If anybody want to add any more item, please do so. Uh, I added a couple of items. I can say Jasper has added something, and we'll see how much we can cover today. So, can I start with the first one?
Yeah, please.
Okay. My screen is visible, right?
Yep.
Okay. So right now we are only focusing on GA related things in the master. By next week, I hope uh, we can start with the first GA activities. So my thought is to keep a dedicated branch for GA. I mean 1.0 fixes. So that means we can make a only bug fixes in that branch and make releases, and we can do uh, feature additions in a different, I mean, in the master. For this arrangement, I'm proposing for few releases, and if let's say if you make a 1.0 release and suddenly new things, somebody report an issue, and while the development is, we are already working on, there is not much big features, but I have something added as the next item, that is the issue number 927. So I think having a branch like that for now would be helpful for us to make only bug fixes, and whereas in the master we can focus on the uh, feature changes. Um, so I would like to hear others' opinion on the same, and yeah, and of course we can do this on demand. Let's say maybe we can continue to work on the master and see. We let's say we add the feature called supporting workload versus map feature, and then suddenly we notice that we need to make a bug fix, or maybe yeah, it could be security fix or whatever, and then we can always create a branch from the tag. That means 1.0 tag, and yeah, that's also possible. Having a dedicated branch also is would be fine. So I would like to hear, should we create a dedicated branch, or if it will wait until there is a need and then do that?
I would go with lean approach. So we, as you said in the last thing, create it on demand when we need it. So we can always create it from the tag. So the commit,
Yeah,
the master branch will be tagged. We don't have neither such a big backlog right now that we need to start working now immediately on version 2.0. Whatever we do anyway will be within the 1.x version scheme, meaning that we can add new features, but we cannot really introduce breaking API changes. So I would say like let's roll 1.0 out throughout the door and start working with the new stuff. And if really need to have like 101 uh, out there, we can definitely then create a branch and make a patch there and make a release. Yeah, I wouldn't really create right now branches and just to have them sit around doing nothing, just stuff like that.
yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Anybody else has any thought?
I agree with Predrag that we don't need that yet as of now. And I was just thinking about once we can get that, just an idea. I have a good experience with the Git flow model of branching and releasing, but it's just, it's not, it's not relevant currently.
Okay then. So yeah, I'm fine with that approach. So unless yeah, so when a real need comes, we can always create a branch and work on that, so that we don't need to push any feature changes which is there already in that,
But
in that branch. Yeah.
but when we let's say if we have some bug fixes, then we need to have one branch, right? And we can keep on adding changes to that.
It depends, Bama. So really, imagine that we are working now on new features, and somebody reported back. I mean, this is what we were doing anyway so far. So somebody reported bug, so we fixed the bug, and around the same time, both things get merged: the bug fix and the new feature, for example. We can then skip releasing 101 and go directly with releasing 1.1, for example, because that 1.1 contains the bug fix as well. And given that, through our automated OLM upgrading, so the people will get that fix as well. So it really depends on the timing when you need to release the bug fix, so to say.
Yeah, but so let's say we are doing bug fixes on GA, like just hypothetical. We have released it as GA, and some customer raised some Bugzilla ticket, and we fixed it, and then we have to build the image on top of something, right? So that should be the released 1.0 branch with the bug fixes, not a tag, right?
I'm not sure. So what do you mean? But like it really depends. So if we fix the bug and merge it to master, so for example, and then between the 1.0 and that new commit, there is no any new features merged, then we can say, okay, we're going to release the bug fix to release 101, and we're all good.
But
if at that point,
but let's say we have released something like after 1.0, we have released, let's say, 1.1, and there is a issue on 1.0, like the build from the 1.0 branch.
Okay.
And where do we fix it? Like where should be the fix?
So the fix. So if we have already released 1.1 and somebody reported a bug on 1.0, and so we actually see that this bug exists also in 1.1, we're going to do the bug fix and we're going to release 1.1.1, so to say.
Yeah, so basically they're going to get even the new feature also in some scenario.
But
right?
no. My point of view was, so when let's say, no, my question was like, we are releasing 1.0 as GA release, right? So 1.1, should we directly do it as GA, or it should be like supported as tech preview for some time?
Just
Because,
to keep you honest here, but I think if there isn't any particular obstacles, we should go with GA, right?
Yep.
But okay, then it works. But if we are planning to keep it as tech preview, then we have to think of some modeling.
No, that's the idea. 1.0 should be GA and supported from Red Hat perspective.
Yeah, but
and then follow up releases as well, right?
Yep.
I mean, we can have Bama, from what I understand from your approach, we can. So, for example, if we in 1.1 introduce a new feature, we can mark that feature as technical preview, but still having a release as such being GA and saying, okay, in that particular release, this is the TP and the other things are GA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If we are good, I think we can go to the next topic that I added. So this is just a suggestion. I'm thinking this issue is the one of the last major thing that technically required to make our implementation spec compliant. And then understand this is an advanced feature, but there are people waiting for that features. John Poth, Rasport, there I can see Echo and all asking for the feature. So I think there is some demand for this feature, so we can prioritize and work on this post GA. right?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I hope there won't be an issue to adapt the implementation from the other. I mean, there is already an implementation of this feature in the what is the reference implementation. So hopefully we can take a look at that and see how whether it is going to be compatible with our work, or maybe we can work on that. Okay, this just wanted to bring it up because this was one of the thing that I noticed that making our spec non-compliant. I mean, to be exactly 100%. So yeah, okay, then we'll do this maybe in the next sprint. Is that can be considered like that? Is that okay?
Mm. Yeah, sure. You can. It would be nice for the next, at least, not sure so when you're going to start with this, but at least for the next call next week, we should demonstrate, change in design, or on the architectural level, what needs to be done before really implementing this. And acceptance tests. We should also come up with acceptance tests, which should demonstrate that before really starting working on implementation. So if you want to, for the next call, present, change the design, so where we need to plug things or modify, plus acceptance tests, that would be great.
Okay. Yeah, this is a bit complex feature, so I hope the acceptance tests will be.
Yeah, therefore, having acceptance tests upfront makes a lot of sense. That we understand how this needs to behave. Plus, knowing our current code design, so where should we do changes in order to support that?
Yeah. Actually, I was just wondering, this particular thing requires another resource, right, altogether. I mean, as part of the spec, there is yet another resource that is required. Let me take a look at that. Yeah. So I just want to know how many people are really using this feature. I mean, we have our telemetry feature, right? So can we make it part of a telemetry and see if it really people are using this, creating this resource or not? That is something interesting to observe.
Yeah, definitely. When we have this in place, then we could actually start asking this kind of queries, right?
I hope that metrics provide this kind of features to see this resource count, right? How many are there in the cluster? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something a potential candidate to be part of the. Let me mark it. What it is called? Telemetry, right? Sound of in the telemetry. So the reason I'm curious to know is that this is an advanced feature, and it would be interesting to see whether really people are using this kind of features. And yeah, that was the right. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I think I'm done with that topic. I guess we can move on to the next one, Jasper.
Okay. Sounds good. So basically what I wanted to talk about for this one here is I just wanted to identify next steps. In the last week's meeting, if you scroll down a little bit, yep, just a little further up. So follow up with, yeah, exactly. So just wanted to kind of identify next steps in terms of what we want to do here, right? And where we're going to go. And I think we already have a few things already in progress, right? So blog, Andy is working on that. Baiju, you've already worked on the intro video, right? So I want to identify what's next for conference talks, for example, right? it seems like to me the next steps would be to kind of gather a list of conferences where it makes sense for us to potentially present, right? Would anyone like to do that? Would anyone like to kind of research to see what what conferences are available, when they are, so we can kind of start working on schedules?
Yeah, we can look for conferences that is relevant for our project, like Kubernetes related, or
Mhm.
I don't know what is cloud native or container, or this kind of even
Looking for an
into
owner to kind of help coordinate that, and or even just start gathering some of these details.
yeah,
Would anybody like to do so?
yeah, we can okay, I don't know much content, but we can at least create a potential candidates, the
Yep. Oh yeah,
create a
yeah, for
list
sure.
of create a list of potential, yeah, identify, or I think that same thing. So create a, and then in my opinion we should start working on some draft content, I mean the slides, or who this, yeah, create a list of potential conferences.
Well, what I would
Okay.
suggest, let's take this one step at a time, right? Like we
Okay.
don't. It'd be good to understand when these conferences, as you look for them, right? When their call for papers are, for example, right?
Yeah.
So we can identify what list priorities that we need to know, and how do we go about to start thinking ahead, right, and preparing for those dates, and what we need to contribute, right? That one call for papers,
Okay.
for example. But I guess I'm looking for somebody to kind of take a lead on this and help us coordinate this. Is anybody on the call interested, or would you like me to assign somebody?
And this could be virtual conference also, right?
Yeah,
Virtual
absolutely. Any
or virtual or
conferences.
physical. What I heard is okay. I go with physical.
Okay. Okay.
And it could be
Please
a
feel free
single,
to.
by the way, in my opinion, it could be a single speaker, or if somebody can collaborate, it could be, what
Absolutely,
they call
or pairs. Yeah,
pair,
co-presenters.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Pair.
Right, or even a workshop, to be honest, depending on what the scenario is that we want to do.
Yeah, workshop
Right.
also.
And to a certain extent, I will almost even clump the SIG app workshop under this, right, as a possibility of a place where we could present.
Yeah. And
Unless the team feels otherwise.
yeah, in my opinion, we should have a kind of slide decks, which could be reused if somebody is going to this kind of conferences.
Sure, it depends. Yeah, as we build out the content, as we identify when the call for papers are, we could go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need volunteers to help each other to review, and if somebody is going to present, other team members can help,
Right, and-
even if they're not wearing.
Right now, right, I just want to focus on getting started on the work to identify these conferences, figure out those
Okay.
due dates, and we can start to figure out that as the next steps going forward.
Yeah.
So that's an area where we're looking for volunteers here for, right? Please feel free to sign up. Let me know, or update it directly into the deck. If please, over the next week, if you feel free to volunteer. If I don't see one, I'll look to ask for a volunteer myself. The next item here is directly reaching out to our existing user base. Right, and the idea here is that there's been folks who have been attending these calls, or contributed or participated in our teams in the past, and we have a list of them. Right, I think it'd be good for us to reach out to these individuals to let them know about the GA availability and about the updates and videos, blogs, and whatnot that are available, so they can start to take a look at how they are. Just let them know that SBO has GA, and if they have any questions, concerns, that they can follow up with us. And or attend this call.
Calendar invite has a number of
People,
invites.
yep.
So I think we can just send, mail announcement to them, right? Just like that, right?
I was thinking more like a direct connect, like one person to one person acting as a focal, because that gave me a little bit more of a personal touch.
Yeah, fine. But like sending the announcement to the
yeah.
list of this meeting participants I think would be also useful.
Yeah.
Because there are also people external to the Red Hat on that list. So
Right. So you're thinking like a general announcement, an email to the mailing list to notify them of the SBO GA, and then maybe as a follow-up for a direct engagement with each of the individual groups to see if there's any other follow-up questions or concerns, and add a little bit more personal touch to it. Yeah.
I just remember something about the previous topic. Is it okay?
Sure.
I hope it will be relevant, because when we are going for this presentation, this need not be our Red Hat Foxeron. We can even pair with the other community members, like maybe it doesn't matter, IBM or VMware or anyone else interested.
Well, this is talking about SBO, right?
Yeah, in the case of SBO itself, I'm talking about if SBO, the presentation itself, if other community members are there willing to coming forward to give the co-presentation, we should encourage that. I don't see anyone. I mean, of course, we used to get some of the participants in this call, so this need not be by us alone in the Red Hat team.
Absolutely. I think it depends on the content, right, that we're sharing.
Right.
We can figure out from there. Agreed. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, please continue with the others. Sorry.
Yeah, no problems. Okay. So then the operator hub, I'm trying to remember what that was from last week. Is that does anybody remember what specifically about operator hub?
Okay, that was to publish, but I think we do that already. And
You
right.
mean publishing to the operator hub itself to update it with the latest information?
There was somebody asked whether there is any way to send a mail or any wider advert possible, but I don't think they have any such kind of mechanism. It's just publishing, it will be available. There is no news feed or anything like that in RSS feed or.
Okay. It'd be good to confirm that, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And the last one here is reach out to backing service projects. So was this with regards to encouraging them to make themselves support service binding by default? Okay. So that I think would be a little bit bigger task. This is not just regarding informing them of GA availability, I would say. So we're planning to coordinate this and have to take this as another project.
Yeah, at least one thing we can do is that if we see that project is open source, which is there in public hosting places like GitHub, we could actually report an issue asking that, that in whatever they're using the issue tracker, we can have a report and ask them, okay, there is a project like this, your project is a potential candidate, and so that way we can start engaging as a first step. And from there, maybe depending on the demand, that definitely need more discussion than just a outreach program. So
yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Oh yeah, please feel free if you have any interest in volunteering for any of these items. Please let me know, and I can start working on that. Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other comments or suggestions regarding this in terms of this effort? Okay. So Baiju, back to you for the next item.
Okay. We added issue triaging and resizing on refinement in the agenda, but I don't see any new issues or anything has come up in this tracker at least, right? And the last one I see is 14 days ago, so nothing new has come. So any suggestion what we can do? Pricing refinement.
Unless we have anything else, I think we can stop for now.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
pause. So,
Yeah. Okay then. Let me know. Then I think otherwise let's stop for now.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.